Hey everyone, welcome back to Keeping Up with Conspicuous. We were just having a debate over what episode this is, and we've given up because we cannot remember.
20-something.
Yeah, 20-something. But we are joined today, as you can see, we have got a lovely guest with us. I don't know what way I need to point. That Justin is here with his company, which is Recruiter Insider, which I'm sure we're going to learn lots about today. But I think we'll just start with a little bit of an introduction from yourself, Justin, because obviously, well, it would be nice if everyone knew you, but
some people might not know you, some people might not know Recruiter Insider. So who are you, your background, etc., please?
Big question. So yes, I'm the founder and CEO of Recruiter Insider. We're a feedback platform that allows agencies like yourselves to collect feedback from your candidates and clients through the hiring process. My background is a scaringly 23 years, I think it is now, in the recruitment industry. Started, I know, I've been in recruitment longer than you've been alive, Lucy. It doesn't make me feel old at all. So I started off in recruitment. I've worked in a number of different software companies. I've done internal, I've done agency, but probably tech over the last 10, 15 years. And 7 years ago, I had this, and I kid you not, cliche light bulb moment to come up with this business. But there was something that enabled that to happen in the first place. So I run this business now. We're global. And as I said, feedback from your candidates, from your clients to help you guys essentially just be that little bit better at what you do each day and to help your candidates and clients as well.
Definitely.
We need it.
We do.
You shouldn't be saying that.
So then diving into what were the aims? I know you kind of touched on it, but focusing in on what were the aims with Recruiter Insider when you sort of initially started the company? What were your aims?
You two are too young to know this cartoon, but there's a cartoon called Pinky in the Brain.
I know that.
How good is it? Every night, Pinky in the Brain. It's a mouse and a something else, whatever. Pinky is world domination. That was honestly what I wanted from day one. I'm still on that mission, world domination. No, but the real purpose. Look, the idea of the business actually came out of a really, ironically, crappy call from a recruiter.
Oh,
so, yeah. Yep. So I was in between contracts. I wasn't doing any work. I was playing golf. So I just got back from the golf course. Nice. And I got this phone call, and it was a recruiter who said they found my profile on LinkedIn and they wanted to talk to me about a job. I'm like, wow, that's impressive. You're a recruiter who picked up the phone. This is astonishing. You didn't send me a LinkedIn message. You're not, this is great. I'll talk to you because I think I have to eventually get a job one point soon and stop playing golf every day because I'm certainly not turning pro. So I said, okay, what do you got? I said, well, before I tell you too much about the job, I think you're too senior for it, and I think the salary is going to be below your expectations.
Right.
Okay. If this is some kind of reverse psychology thing, or if you're looking for the third strike, let me help you. What industry is?
Put me off the job before you've even told me about it. Then
yeah. I'm like, this is great. So let's go for strike three. What industry is it in? It's in finance. I'm just standing in my apartment at the time going, are you an idiot? I've got no experience in finance whatsoever. She goes, yeah, but you worked at a company called Astute Payroll. It was software.
Oh, okay.
Just the worst call. So I said, okay, well, that's strike three. Good luck to you. Goodbye. And I got off that call and I called one of my friends who owned an agency and said, hey, mate, did you just get one of your consultants to kind of prank call me? Mate, they don't have a spare 45 minutes to talk to you. Like, I'm not getting my consultants to waste time even on a 10-minute call with you because it won't last 10, it'll last 30, and you'll berate them. Yeah, okay, fair call. So it wasn't you. So this was a legitimate call. And I at the time, and I've said this story, I think I was 16 years into recruitment at that point. I'm like, I'm getting out. I've done everything I want to do. I can't think of anything else to do. But this call really bugged me. The experience I was provided was atrocious.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, let it go. Drop it. This isn't my problem to solve. And then, kid you not, next morning, because I was thinking about it all night. Next morning, I'm in the shower. daydreaming as I do, water, as we just super hot shower. Yeah, and I'm just standing there, and then I literally had that cliche light bulb moment, and I designed the platform in about 10 seconds. In my head, just did this, and go, right, okay, I know what this is. I got out of the shower, got a notepad and pen, started writing stuff down, did some research. Does this exist already? And it didn't. And it still kind of doesn't to this day. Every other, or every competitor we have is essentially an NPS platform.
A lot of other things we work with, like video marketing platforms, etc. We know of a couple of them, but Insider, I only know of Recruitment Insider, Recruiter Insider. Don't know of any others.
Yeah, we've certainly got competitors globally, but they do what's called NPS, Net Promoter Score, which is one question. Whereas we're very, very specific to recruitment. The questions you get reviewed on. They're all recruitment-related questions aligned to the process. And we dig really deep into those. So instead of asking one question, we ask, I think that we've got now 390 questions across the platform. And now, of course, not a candidate or a client answers 390 questions. It doesn't work like that. But the questions are so specific that it helps add value to the candidate or the client giving that review, and then helps you, Lucy and Tyler, to see if there's anything you need to improve and just how good of a job you're doing at the same time.
Yeah,
that's how it all came about.
I think one thing for me is I actually seem to form much better relationships with both candidates and clients as a result of investing, like for them to see that I actually care about feedback and I utilize it, and we even take the time to look at it. I think they instantly just warm to you a bit more. I mean,
I definitely agree. I mean,
do you feel, both of you, that it's held you a little bit more accountable to that service you're providing? You need to be on the ball. Like, you can't drop the ball because it's like, I don't want a bad review.
I remember the first time they said they were going to introduce this platform, all of us sort of had like this sinking feeling like, oh crap, like, people are going to see like where we're good, where we're bad at. But obviously then you start realizing that it's not all doom and gloom. Like, actually it's so useful, so productive. And actually when you get those feedback, I got a really nice testimonial yesterday. It just, like, for selfish reasons, you're actually like, that really perks me off a bit. Like, that makes me feel really good. And it keeps you sort of going, especially when you're having those really down days.
That's interesting. That's one part of the product that, as we've developed it over the last 6 years, I've never actually thought about. Now, every consultant on the platform all around the world, they're all obsessed with the testimonials, or every consultant is ridiculous, right? You love them. And I get it. But what I didn't realize is how often you actually go in and read them again when you're having a bit of a down moment to make yourself feel good about yourself. I'd never thought of that angle. So that was really quite kind of humbling and pleasing to hear when I heard that the first time. Like,
I mean, also,
so we also make you feel good about yourself.
Yeah, and if, for us with our presence on LinkedIn, like if we are to post a testimonial from a genuine candidate or client, no one can argue with that. Like, this is me. I'm a recruiter. This is actual evidence as to how I do my job. Like, it's not just us reeling off some BS. Like, I'm amazing. I'm
the best recruiter in the world. Trust me.
The proof is actually in the pudding now, so you can just post it. Actually, this wasn't me writing this.
And I think that's kind of the unique part of what you can go to market as recruiters with. Is it's not just, and I say this to everyone, this is my little tip for you both as well. It's not just the testimonials you've got; it's the other data that's in there that allows you to tell a story around how well you do parts of the process. So specifically saying, hey, here's how I support candidates.
Yeah, definitely.
Because that was going to bring me on to another side of it, because obviously candidates and clients are both involved on this feedback platform. Now, I've recently pulled in a new client, and from a client perspective, and one of the ways I could sort of sell my services to them was actually by talking about Recruiter Insider. And they were like, huh? Like, how can this benefit us, sort of thing? Like, it's a feedback platform for recruiters. And I'll let you explain how it benefits them. But when I started explaining how that helps, they were blown away by it. Obviously, they were just like, wow, actually, like, that's going to be so useful for us. So let's know a little bit more about the client side. So what can the platform give to clients?
Yeah, well, firstly, it gives you the ability. So it really starts with you and getting that feedback, but it gives you the ability to take the feedback from candidates to your client or to a prospective client to show them how you're representing their brand.
Mm.
Now, everyone in the market talks about personal brand, personal brand, personal brand. Guess what? Your clients honestly don't care about your personal brand. That's just the truth. That's sorry. Go build it. Absolutely, there's value to it. But at the end of the day, they care about their employer brand more than anything else, and definitely above your personal brand.
That's
So
very true.
the ability to go to them and say, here's how we represent you through the process. Here's how we pitch your jobs to candidates. Here's how we prepare them for interview. Here's how we secure the candidate for you at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So you've got that transparency and accountability you can show them. We can put our money where our mouth is. And when we stuff up, we're also going to show you as well, because we can't hide it. The data doesn't lie. But what you're also able to kind of double down on is the ability to show them how they represent their own brand, how their hiring managers perform in the interview process, pitching the company, the culture, the job, and hopefully getting the attraction of that candidate. But even more powerfully beyond that, what is everything that they've pitched and that you've pitched, which is hopefully in alignment, like in reality once they start. Because what we see in the data is it doesn't always align.
Again,
So,
proof in the pudding.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you get to say, right, here's how we represent your brand. Here's how you represent it. But here's what's it like in reality. So you're actually giving them insights into, well, how you're representing them, which is incredibly powerful. But they don't have these insights into their own business. So, Lucy, when you said they're blown away by it, it's like...
We tested it once, Justin, when we first started working with Recruiter Insider, and Helena, our marketing lady, really helps us support, use the platform and supported us with it. I had a client, and Lucy, one of Lucy's candidates, was giving constructive criticism during the interview process, and we could see that being reflected in Recruiter Insider. So I had a chat with the client, and we know it works because I had a chat with a client and gave it in a nice way. Anyway, you know what I mean when I say that. And we saw it improve. And to this day, the feedback on interviews is outstanding compared to what it was.
Yeah.
And are they getting, as a result of that, are they securing the candidates easy, like getting more candidates accept offers, and like that process is just smooth? Yeah.
We've flown up with that now. Actually.
Absolutely. Like the ability Recruiter Insider has given us to improve elements of the process from our side and client side has just basically made any clients we work with, we're more likely to place, and they actually value us and our use of it, which is
I love that you just said the kind of the secret key, the secret source word, the password of sorts, value. Because this is from a client side and from the agency side, this is really what it's about. Is it actually helps you validate your value to your clients, but what it enables you to do is actually give real value back on things that they've got no view of right now.
Do you know what I love though? I think we pulled this platform in, correct me if I'm wrong, I think last October, maybe September, October time.
About a year now.
Yeah. So we've just over a year. And I mean, the amount of data across the board we've got is incredible, because we thought it'd be a bit of a slow burn of getting people on board with it.
No, we don't have a problem with that.
Candidates are actually really on board, and I think that's obviously hats off to you, because it's not a long-winded, horrible process. It's a really nice, gentle, like, here, if you do want to give feedback, bish bash boss, do the feedback, and
it's so user-friendly as well. The platform is just, because you know what it's like as a recruiter, you don't want something that's not easy to use and user-friendly.
But I think for me, obviously, the point I was going to make is we pulled this in just over a year ago, and I know that you've been going with this platform for 6 years, but the amount of adaptations and upgrades and add-ons you've added in the past year already, just from listening to because you're a feedback platform, but you ask for feedback from users, and once again, that in itself has caused, like, you actually listen and you put these add-ons on. Like, one of the things I absolutely love, one of the features on it is, once someone's onboarded into a job, obviously, I mean, not to brag, but me and Tyler are pretty good at like keeping in contact with our candidates once we place them. We don't place them and then just drop them off the edge of a cliff. Like,
Good to hear.
but if you're a recruiter that's a bit, a bit useless at remembering who you place, and
or don't care.
Yeah, but the platform highlights afterwards in the onboarding period whether there's any sort of niggles for them, any worries, any concerns, and it will highlight that to you.
Yep, the placement risks. Yep.
The placement risks. That's the title.
Yep.
I love that.
Yep. I had that idea. Look, yeah, you're right. We are a feedback platform, and I say this to all of our clients. If you've got an idea, please tell us, because we want your feedback as well. Because if we can't accept your feedback, we're building the wrong product and business.
Yeah.
So that's a consistent line we tell all of our clients. But the placement risks was an idea I had on the couch one night. I actually just saw something. This is where a lot of the ideas come from. And a lot of the features are from our clients. Some of the key ones are actually from our clients. But yeah, this placement risk idea, I actually just saw something in the data with the salary question at placement stage and started doing a bit of diving on the data and going, ooh, that's interesting. So we built it. We actually built it in 3 days.
Wow.
It was that good of an idea. We just went, bang, we've got to build this.
Wow.
This is really cool and unique. And then when we built onboarding, we built the placement risk, the post-placement risk into that as well. So yeah, some of the ideas, the My Clients dashboard was an idea from one of our clients.
Amazing.
And that to me is the most powerful dashboard that allows you to take all this data to your clients to show them everything that you're doing and what they're doing and how you can all improve. So yeah, I'm almost out of ideas. Almost.
I don't think you will be.
No.
I say this to convince myself. It doesn't convince anyone else though.
Yeah, I think one thing that's also been really beneficial, just once again, this whole like trust of it being proof in the pudding and actually real data. I think the new feature that you introduced with the live dashboard of updates. So once you get new feedback in, all those numbers automatically adjust, and it's the live dashboard. I've added it onto my LinkedIn page, which could be risky because if you ever get a bad
the landing page. Yep. I know what you're talking about. The landing pages. Yep.
People can click on that, see the live data, which is up to date today. Obviously, you've just got to have trust in yourself that is going to keep going.
Yes, you do.
But also, that keeps you on your toes as a recruiter to do well. And I
mean, that is leading into our next point, really, because for us, if there's any recruiters out there listening or clients that work with recruiters or want to work with recruiters, how does it make recruitment agencies stand out? Tell us a little bit more about that for the people listening, please.
Yeah, I think the main thing, and obviously it holds you more accountable, right? You've both definitely on board with that, and you've seen that and felt that yourselves. But I think more importantly than anything, I'll come back to the line I said earlier, it validates your value and what you provide to that individual, be it a candidate or a client. So the unique part of the platform, and I guess this works on both the candidate and the client side, when they're looking at your landing page, Lucy, all the little data points that we've got on there are essentially mini stories. So they're micro parts of the process that actually say, here's how I support you to prepare for interviews, or the advice I give you, or communication in terms of staying in touch with you as a candidate. And you've got real feedback scores there from candidates highlighting how well you've done that over the last 12 months, as well as testimonials feeding through at the bottom to back all of that up. And then on the client side, so there's 7 different little mini stories about how you support candidates through the process, really specific parts of the process that are of value to them and really important to them. And then 15 on the client side. These mini stories actually allow you to go, right, I'm not going to tell you how good I am. I'm actually going to let my candidates and clients do this for me and actually show you all these little parts of the process that everyone says I'm really good at. And which obviously then holds you accountable because it's public. You don't want a bad score appearing. So you've got to nail these little elements.
For sure. I mean, I've been using it quite a lot recently over the last 6 months or so with new business, because the reason you've just said. Have you seen, what's the feedback you've been getting from other users on using Recruiter Insider for new business?
Yeah, it's probably one of the 4 or 5 key areas of the platform that we focus on as well, because it's just so powerful to be able to take the data to a prospect and let the data tell the story for you. So one of the things, and this is about my 4th webinar this week, so I've been telling this story a few times. But what the data really allows you to do is to showcase a point of difference. So I'm really sorry to every other recruiter and agency out there. I've been doing this a while, so I think I've got a little bit of credibility to say this.
Yeah.
You all sound the same.
Yeah.
Every single one. And at the end of the day, you're all doing essentially, in a simplistic view, the same thing.
Oh yeah, we are 100%.
So what's your point of difference? It's actually the experience you provide and how you make people feel. That's the difference. People want to work with people they enjoy. So if you're providing a crappy candidate or client experience, then your candidates and clients don't like you, well, good luck. You're not going to do very well in this industry or last very long. So from a new business perspective, being able to take all of these sets of data, all these mini stories and how you position culture and candidate matching and providing a short list that matches what the client's looking for, feedback on that, staying in touch, following their process. We'll see how many I can remember. Is actually really powerful. So again, that new business, so you guys know the platform, that new business toolkit that we've got was an idea from one of our clients.
Amazing.
So he said, we want to include this data in tenders to actually showcase and validate that we're not just saying we're good, we've got empirical data to back it up, and not just some high level score of saying, hey, we've got 4.5 stars or we're 4.7 stars out of 5. Who cares? It means nothing.
Yeah.
You need detail. So I think one of the most powerful points is the relevancy of information you can provide on the process and service you provide, that micro view of it.
Absolutely. I mean, I guess one thing which it might be nice for you to fire some questions at us about, because obviously the main thing you want to have is success stories from your platform and how it's benefited companies. Now, obviously, we are a user of your platform.
Yeah.
So is there any questions you have to us about how it's benefited us as a company and anything like that? I know we've sort of dropped.
I think you just asked the question for me, Lucy.
Yeah.
You asked your own question. What I'm intrigued about is how has it actually made you a better recruiter?
That's a great question.
I think adaptability in general, but also where the market has been candidate driven and then dropped slightly back this year to more client driven, things like salary, which become a little bit more relevant at times, a little bit less relevant, we can showcase that to clients. How are we adapting to the current market and maybe elements clients are struggling with? How can we showcase how we're adapting to that in data?
Yeah.
That has been really good for me. I mean, a client of mine has been struggling a little bit on like counter offers and things like that, and I provided some data around like salaries and the interview process, and they use that moving forwards to be more successful. So for me, it's like forming overall better relationships with my clients. They trust me, and I'm not some CV flinger because I don't want to be. Like, I don't want to be.
I actually said this earlier this week. I think I put a post up on LinkedIn about it. Talking with a client just about recruitment is boring.
Yeah.
But if that's all you've got to talk about is, hey, what jobs you got? Boring. Like that anyone can do that. You've got to go further. You've got to actually understand their business. So anyone can collect a job brief, but can you collect a business brief? What are their pain points? How can you help their business as a whole? And all of the data that you've got at your fingertips allows you to do that. But what I'm intrigued about for both of you, is there anything that the platform, the feedback that we've actually collected for you over the last 12 months surprised you? Is there any, I didn't know I wasn't doing that well, or I was doing this better than what I thought, or?
I think, do you know what? At the start, I was a bit taken back by some of my scores because it was providing me feedback about in one of the questionnaires at the start, obviously, in like initial calls and stuff, I never really spoke about interviews and interview preparation and stuff like that. And then I realized actually the importance of it, because as I was having more phone calls, people would ask me, and I was quite early on in my recruitment career at that time, and I wasn't sort of clued up on exactly
connecting the dots.
Yeah. And then like I could see I was consistently getting lower scores in that area, and I was like, like that's not looking good. So I remember I literally put together an interview preparation PDF that I thought can add values to my candidates if they're feeling like they aren't feeling prepared for their interviews, and I may not always have the information about exactly what the interview is going to be like. How can I give them something to make them feel a little bit loved and prepared? So
and confident.
Yeah. I'll put together that PDF and I send it with every single interview confirmation I do now. And that score's now become a lot more consistent. So yeah, it shocked me to start with, but and then it shocked me in a good way because I was like, actually, no, I can do this to sort of help that in the future.
Yeah. And I think as well, for us both being, I mean, Lucy's been doing this for just over a year. I've been doing this for just over 2. Where we are in our recruitment careers, I think also there is an element of actually take a minute. You are doing okay. Like the market's been really difficult, and having just a little bit of a confidence boost, which I know people don't think we as recruiters need, but we're also females. We do need a confidence boost sometimes. So it's nice to just have that, to sort of remember that we're not doing anything wrong. Just keep going and you will improve and be successful.
Yeah. The only other shock I had was when I clicked onto my client one day and I was like, oh my God, I've got like 100s across the board, thinking I was like absolutely insane. And then it was just the one review I had from my client because it was a brand new review.
Yeah, because they answered 15 questions at once. Yeah.
That was a good shock, but it was a shock. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know whether you've got any future plans that may be in the pipeline, any secrets you could reveal, or you know, whether there's anything that you see this platform doing in the future. But is there anything?
Is there? Well, of course there is, because I said I've run out of ideas, but that doesn't mean we've finished building all the ideas that I've got in my head. And I haven't run out of ideas. I just know I need to slow down. So yeah, we've got Q1 next year. We've got performance reviews coming.
Wow. Okay.
So that's you know, your annual performance review. You'll be able to review your manager. So look out, managers. You'll be able to review each
managers.
Yeah, you'll be able to review your manager.
360.
They're called 360 reviews. But also, Lucy and Tyler, you'll be able to review each other.
Oh, I like that feature.
000.
Won't quite work like that.
I would have done something so inappropriate.
No, we're locking it down so you can't. Because I know even just for fun, some of you will do that. And then after we've built that, this is really kind of exclusive. I was just talking to my business partner before. I shouldn't be sharing this, but this is the real kind of sneak peek of what we're doing. Basically from our May-ish, April-ish, is we're going to unsurprisingly stick AI on top of the whole thing. Where you'll be able to get to the dashboard and go, who is my client, who's performing the best at interview, who has the best conversion to placement, who provides the best experience, how do I compare to all the other recruiters in the agency, how can I be better, blah, blah, blah. You can ask it whatever you want.
Amazing. That would be brilliant.
Is this new co-pilot thing which will run in the background? Is this the whole integration of that, or have I?
No, so there's 2 parts to it essentially. One is the kind of Chat GPT version or integration that we'll do, whether it's Chat GPT or some other version or product like that or tool. And then there's what's called a language learning model, which analyzes everything and can spit back analysis of all the data. So you can actually, I've already tested a bit of it. I put 20 testimonials into Chat GPT across a number of consultants and asked it to build a profile for each consultant based on the sentiment of the testimonials. And it did it, and it was amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, so we'll get a language learning model to actually analyze all of your testimonials and your performance reviews and how you feel about working at Conspicuous, and we'll build a profile of you.
Gosh, well, that is that's our first keeping up with Conspicuous first, as in like exclusive.
Oh, an exclusive.
That is all. Yeah, there's a handful of people who know, but yeah, that's it's so it like we're not. I'm going to go in blasting it out everywhere. Although I've just said it here. Oops.
Don't worry, we're not quite as big of diarrhea of a CEO or anything like that, so you'll be fine.
So no, that is the plan. So obviously everything is going the way of AI, right? So
Yeah.
because of the unique data sets that we have, we can do some really interesting analysis,
It's scary how
which will
advanced-
help you. So you'll be able to go, Lucy, you'll be able to punch in, how do I compare to Tyler as a recruiter?
I wouldn't do that to myself because I wouldn't want to cry myself to sleep.
Oh,
Very
be
much.
quiet. I have to say, actually, we're very similar. I really,
Yeah.
really can't say that we're any different. In
Well,
ways we
to know,
work.
we'll soon find out when I type it into AI. It tells me I get more.
No, because what you'll be doing is you'll be reviewing each other poorly, so you're just both going to lose.
Yeah, maybe we have to be nice.
Oh well.
We'll be nice. That is such a cool feature, though.
Oh, I can't wait for that. Thank you for telling us about that. We really appreciate it. And I mean, I could talk to you forever, but unfortunately, duty calls. But thank you so much. We really
Pleasure.
coming on. I know it's late for you as well, so thank you so
all
much.
good.
And I hope that was I found it so interesting, so I know everyone else will. And thank you so much again. We'll speak to you all next week on our next podcast.
Lovely.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much.
Justin. Have a good one.
Yeah, have a good one. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.